So keeping in the tradition of the videos I have been uploading lately, I thought I would take a trip to my local cemetery, which is a little freaky, but it's Halloween, so why not? The last few episodes I have been uploading have been Halloween related, and what better video to do than a graveyard-oriented video. I don't know anybody buried in this particular cemetery. I don't know any relatives or grandparents or what have you, so it's a little odd being here. I've never been in the cemetery, but this cemetery is huge. It just keeps going on and on and on and on. Sometimes I like taking a stroll in the cemetery, just looking at all the different names and when people died and when they were born, people who were born in the 1800s, and just thinking about the lives they must have lived. The people who lived to the ripe old age of 80 or 90 or 100. And then there's the more tragic gravestones where you see babies or small children who only lived a few years. Yeah, and it just keeps going and going and going around the corner there. I don't think I would ever want to be buried. I feel like a lot of people nowadays would rather be cremated. I typically would like to be cremated. I do like the idea of cremation, but I also like the idea of being buried. So I don't know, if I had to choose right now on the spot, I would choose to be cremated. I think the reason I like the idea of cremation better is because when you're buried in the ground, it just seems so lonely. I mean, yes, you're dead, but I don't know, you're just in the ground year after year. The snow is piling on top of your grave, the leaves change, spring turns to summer, and I feel like if you're cremated in an urn, at least your family members or whomever can keep you inside in the house, on top of the fireplace, in the bedroom, in a closet, you know, keeping you close by. Whereas in a cemetery, I mean, it's just so lonely and just so, I don't know. So leave a comment if you would prefer to be cremated or traditionally buried. I know this video is pretty macabre and whatnot, but we're all gonna end up in that place eventually, so let me know in the comments, which one would you prefer to be? What I do like about cemeteries is that though they are a very depressing and sad place to be, the colors of a typical cemetery are gray, black, brown, but then there's these bursts of color where people lay flowers by the tombstones of their loved ones. Just little pops of color and little pops of remembrance. You know, in a place that's very drab, that's very dark, very depressing, it's nice to see little spurts of color, that though there is death, there is also life, and people will remember you long after you're dead. And it's nice to know that even if you are buried, that people do come and place flowers and gifts by your tombstone. Dead but never forgotten. And not just flowers, but people leaving behind little jars with messages inside. I see someone left a toy truck beside one of the tombstones. A sports flag for their favorite hockey team, the Winnipeg Jets. Born June 14th, 1878. That was the wife, and the husband was born 1874. She died 1940 and he died 1960. Can you imagine being born in the 1800s? You know, I keep thinking, what if I was born in the 1800s? You know, I don't know if I believe in reincarnation. I think it's a really cool concept. Like, did I live a past life, you know, back in whenever, 1600s, 1500s? Did I have a past life? Was I a servant in a past life? Was I a wealthy emperor? Was I a criminal hanged for wrongdoing? I mean, if reincarnation is real, I mean, that is so fucking fascinating, man. Who knows, maybe if reincarnation was real, maybe I was just a sheep herder. I was just a sheep herder in a past life. Back in the 1500s, my name was John Hendricks, and I was a sheep herder. And I had a wife and 4 kids. And what's also really interesting is you see a lot of newer headstones, but then you see the really old ones that are completely faded. Like this one right here, this tombstone. You can't even read it. I don't even know. Like, you can't even see. Oh, here it is. Oh my god, I was looking on the wrong side. I'm such an idiot. But no, you get what I mean. I mean, there are headstones, there are tombstones where they're so old and so weathered, you can't even read the engravings on them. I'll see if I can find one. Like this one right here. Yeah. See, you can't even read it. It is so old. Like, you can't even read the dates. You can kind of see the name. That's crazy. And they keep going into the distance. There are so many. This is the biggest graveyard I have ever been in. I haven't been in very many graveyards in my lifetime. There's the main one that I have been to, the church that I went to when I was growing up. But other than that, like, I haven't really been to many graveyards. So this graveyard seems really big to me. So what I'm trying to do, I'm actually trying to find the oldest tombstone here that I can find. This one here, born August 8th, 1849, died December 25th, 1926. So I think this is the oldest one I have seen so far, right here. It's just crazy to realize that there are people who have been buried here for over 100 years, if not longer. That's just crazy. Died 1904. So I haven't seen any that say died in the 1800s yet. In death, they were not divided. Oh, look, guys, a whole bunch of geese have come to pay their respects. And now they're running away from me. I totally just interrupted them. It's so weird. They're just like, it looks like they're just, I know they're just kind of staring blindly into the distance for no apparent reason, but it looks like they're actually staring at the tombstones. Hello, little geesey. Geese are so annoying, but they're so cute at the same time. Oh my god, that's so weird. I've never seen geese in a graveyard before. I think it's because we're right beside the river. And I stand corrected. There's the rest of them. Swimming away into the distance. Look at that. Looks like crystals glistening on the surface of the water. It's so sad that summer's over now. Even fall, like, it's the end of October now, and before I know it, it's going to be winter, and it's going to start snowing. It usually typically snows at the beginning of November where I live. So in a few weeks, snow will be here, unfortunately, and then it'll be -10, and then it'll be -20, it'll be super cold all the way until March. I actually do get excited for the first snowfall of the year. It's really exciting for me, and then I do appreciate the snow until Christmas. But once January hits, it's like, why are you still here? And then February comes along, it's like, I just want spring to come already. So yeah, I love snow in November, December, but hate it for the duration of the beginning of the next year. So January, February, March. So if you ever do come to Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada, it starts snowing in November and the snow lasts until about March and April. So just FYI. I'm like climbing up this steep hill right now. Okay. Back to the graveyard. And there's actually like a whole bunch of houses behind this chain-linked fence. I couldn't imagine living beside a graveyard. That is so weird. And there's like this sketchy-ass car in the distance. Shady as fuck. Some random guy was like working on his car in the middle of the graveyard. I don't think he was here just visiting. He was like doing something inside the car, like, I don't know what he was doing. The perfect plot to any horror movie, let's be real. What if he had like a dead body in a trunk and he was like finding the best opportunity to just like dump it in the river? I don't know if you guys could hear that, but there's bells ringing, like church bells. Obviously, I'm in a graveyard, so there must be a church nearby. That's why I'm hearing church bells. So I guess it's over there. Huh. Yeah, quite a few of these tombstones belong to people who were born in the late 1800s. Oh no. I found a baby tombstone. Our baby daughter, April 22nd to August 28th, 1978. Budded on earth to bloom in heaven. That's so sad. I could never fathom losing a baby. I could never fathom what that would feel like. And I never want to know what that feels like. It's probably one of the most devastating things a human being can ever experience in their life. So many tombstones, so many people who have lived full, hopefully happy lives with so many stories to tell. Especially the people who have lived to 80 and 90. Just think of all the stories they have to share and or could have shared. Just all the memories they left behind. This is really interesting. Here's a Chinese tombstone, which I have never seen before. It's pretty interesting. Huh. And I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos back when I first started my channel. I did a video where it was part of my Enlightened Jesse 8-part series, and one of the videos was me, explaining I don't know if there's life after death, and I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts just because I never had anything supernatural happen to me. I hear stories from my friends and whatnot of supernatural experiences that have happened to them, but I've never had anything like that happen to me, so I'm a skeptic when it comes to that. Is there life after death? I like to think there is, but I'm not 100%. I still don't know. And that is one of the questions that I will always try and seek an answer to until the day I die. I mean, nobody knows for sure what happens to us when we do die. Nobody knows for sure where we go when we die. One of my biggest fears is that when we die, nothing happens, and that it just goes blank, and that we return to what we were like before we were born, just static nothingness. That's my biggest fear. So leave a comment, tell me what you think happens when we die. I like to think that life is very complicated, which it is, but I also like to think death is also very complicated. So it's not just, you die and you go to heaven or hell. I like to think it is way more complex than that, and that if there is something after death, it's something very difficult that we can't even grasp. More geese. Hello, little geesey. I wonder, do geese feel anything when they lose one of their children? Like, do they feel sadness? Do they feel anything? I wonder. Because I must imagine that, like, cats and dogs feel something when they lose one of their kittens or puppies. I wonder if geese feel that way. They have to, right? You annoying little fuckers. Oh my god. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Oh my god. One of them just hissed at the other. I have to like back away now before it starts chasing me. Oh my god, I'm surrounded by them. They're everywhere. I shouldn't raise my voice around the geese. Oh my god. Okay, I have to get out of here. Because right about now, it's about 40-1, and I'm on the losing end. A cube? I wonder what the significance of the cube is. Maybe he was an artist of some kind. It's a little abstract. Wow, look at this. Pretty big crypt. Huh. Now that's pretty spooky, I gotta say. This graveyard is actually so big, I'm actually kind of lost right now. There's so many different roads going so many different directions. I actually don't even know where the entrance is anymore. Oh man, call me crazy. One thing I always wanted to do was play with a Ouija board in a graveyard. Obviously, that's not the greatest idea. It's a toy. A Ouija board is just a toy. It's a game piece. It's a board game. But at the same time, I like to think it's something you shouldn't really fuck with. I don't know. Again, like, I don't know if I believe in spirits. I don't know if I believe in ghosts. I don't know. So, I played with a Ouija board before, but, that was back when I was a kid. I don't know, leave me a comment. What do you think of Ouija boards? Are they legit? Are they not? Do you think we could actually access the paranormal with them? Let me know in the comments. Have you had any freaky experiences? Not just with a Ouija board, but, with ghosts in general. Okay, guys, well, I see the entrance up there. I think our adventure, our somber and sad adventure in the graveyard is coming to a close. One observation I did make, though, a lot of people here have some interesting last names, I gotta say. So right by the entrance, I was actually just gonna leave right now, but I noticed a lot of the tombstones in this general area at the very front of the graveyard are very weathered, they're very old, so I imagine these are the OG tombstones. These are the ones that have been here first. So for example, these guys here, I mean, you can't even read the engravings on here because they're so old. And these ones down here, yeah, these have to be the originals. These have to be the ones that were first put up. And what's really interesting is that if these are the original ones, which I'm pretty sure they are, and I just noticed there's a whole bunch of white ones over there, huh? But if these are the original ones, I noticed that a lot of them say 37 years old, 38 years old, 26 years old. So these are the oldest tombstones in the cemetery, but a lot of them died young. Like in their 20s and 30s. Born in Ireland, 1831. Huh. Yeah, like look at these ones. Huh. There's actually another interesting looking Chinese tombstone, but I won't show it because there's actually a picture of the couple on the tombstone, and I don't really want to show that. So there's another tombstone of someone who was born in 1845. I haven't seen any 1700 tombstones. I mean, for all I know, some of these really weathered tombstones might belong to people who were born in the 1700s. It's just a little bit of a sad realization that we're all gonna end up in the ground or in the urn one day. So to conclude this video, I'll just say, live your best life. Do everything you want to in this life, no matter how young, no matter how old. Try everything. Be who you want to be. Don't hide. Say what you want, feel what you want, love who you want. Just live your best life, because one day it can just all end. And you will end up here, and you don't want to end up here with regrets. So if you take anything away from this video, do what you need to do in this life. take risks, be ambitious, and constantly embrace love and life. Okay, enough of that shit. Thanks for following me around, guys. We are at the end here. Hope you enjoyed watching. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic life. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.